And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Anjali Kamat.
Welcome, everyone. As leaders of the world's richest nations gathered in Pittsburgh for the G-20 summit this past Thursday and Friday, thousands took to the streets in protest amidst a heavy police crackdown. Heavily armed riot police were out in force and used tear gas, stun grenades, smoke canisters, and sound cannons, which direct extremely loud, shrill sounds. It was believed to be the first time sound cannons have been publicly used in the United States. More than 175 people were arrested over 2 days. Democracy Now! Producer Steve Martinez was in the streets of Pittsburgh to cover the story. He filed this report.
Activists from around the country gathered in Arsenal Park in order to protest the G20 summit. This is protest organizer Albert Petrarca.
We had to go to federal court last week just to get the bare minimum of permits needed to pull this off. So the whole thing has been a conscious strategy on the part of the government, from Mayor Ravenstahl all the way up to the West Wing, to try to tamp down the turnout, because the last thing that Obama needs right now is for there to be protests from his left, from his base.
Some of us will go to jail today. We will take care of you. We will be there when you get out. Some of us may lose our lives today. We will respect you. You will be our heroes.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
With helicopter surveillance, the authorities were able to track the demonstrators' movements and were able to block all exits to the park, forcing demonstrators to jump an embankment in order to begin their protest.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse.
We've been tear gassed. We've just been gassed. Actually, no violence at this point, except on the part of the police. It's like total burning of the nose and the eyes, the mouth.
The demonstration was orderly, disciplined, peaceful. And we got to the corner of 37th and Butler Street, and the police just decided to unload tear gas.
If you do not disperse, you may be arrested and/or subject to other police action. Other police action may include actual physical removal, the use of riot control agents and/or less lethal munitions, which could cause risk of injury to those who remain.
In an act of civil disobedience, protest organizer Albert Petrarca sat and blocked a law enforcement vehicle and was promptly arrested. Then the police turned on their new weapon of crowd disbursement, the sound cannon. In all, more than 25 people were arrested, including at least one National Lawyer Guild legal observer. Overnight clashes between police and protesters intensified, resulting in numerous arrests and property damage to local businesses. The overwhelming presence of law enforcement officials prompted anti-war activist Cindy Sheehan to blog, quote, "This is what a police state looks like." On Friday, an uneasy calm returned to the streets of Pittsburgh as thousands gathered for the People's March, a cross-section of social justice activists, human rights groups, peace groups, and representatives from organized labor.
What's your response to those who are demonstrating and those who oppose this summit?
I fundamentally disagree with their view that the free market is the source of all ills. Ironically, if they had been paying attention to what was taking place inside the summit itself, what they would have heard was a strong recognition from the most diverse collection of leaders in history that it is important to make sure that the market is working for ordinary people.
And although President Obama chose to characterize the demonstrators as rabble-rousing anti-capitalists disinterested in the actual goings-on of the summit, most who attended the rallies on Thursday and Friday felt they were getting the G20's message loud and clear and had their own take on the gathering of world leaders. This is musician and activist David Rovics.
The G20 generally represents very wealthy countries that don't have the interests of the people at heart.
These 20 prime ministers and presidents, they're not operating on Earth time.
What time do they operate on?
They're operating according to a kind of corporate gradualism. Their metabolism comes from their military advisors, big energy. They will do things very slowly. They will try to accommodate their investors. As far as I'm concerned, they are accommodating the devil. Let's cast out those devils.
From Pittsburgh, Steve Martinez, Democracy Now!